Right. And we are live.
Oh,
Alrighty, Christian, how are you? My name is Sareth. This is Stand Up Speakeasy. I bring comics on to talk about their journey so far, and it's a secret society of stand up comics. And so I'm just glad I got to do this. It started off as a pandemic experiment, and my buddies moved from like to different cities. And they nominated five of their friends from their local scene, and it just like blew up to like 100 comics nationwide. So I got one in Poland too, so that worked out pretty good. So but yeah, Christian, welcome to the show. How are you? How was your day?
day was terrific. How about you?
So far, so good. I enjoy it. We got two people in the audience watching, so if you'd like to interact in the chat, you're more than welcome to. But be nice to us because we're softies.
Oh, he's
Indeed,
he's soft. I'm not. We're good.
I am a softie. I'm a huge softie. I still watch rom coms and cry. So
Oh,
awesome.
that's
So
okay.
you
I've cried during a Diet Coke commercial before, so
Oh, that's major softy. That's a soft drink softy right there.
no.
Awesome. So you moved to Orlando in May of 2021. Where did you move from, and like where did you grow up?
I actually had just moved from Decatur, Alabama, which was my hometown. So I was there up until college years, and then I moved around for a little bit for about 10 years. I lived in Georgia, lived in South Mississippi for a little bit, and then ended back up in Alabama for a few years before I came down here. So.
Wow, awesome. I done stand up in Mobile, Alabama, and that was a whole lot of fun. So, what's
Oh yeah.
Decatur like?
Decatur's actually grown a good bit. I would say it's probably kind of a mix of like city and rural still for the most part, but not much of a nightlife there. They've got like a one little main downtown strip, a couple of bars and stuff, but we were pretty excited when our Walmart turned into a super center back in the day. So that's what really put us on the map.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And what was it like living in the other cities that you mentioned?
It was really good. I lived in near West Georgia for about 8 years and worked in Columbus, Georgia. And I mean, I was really just working mostly, but it was really nice. I got went up to Atlanta a good bit when I was living around there because it was only about an hour away. So I got to spend a lot of time in that city, which I love Atlanta. So I can't say I'm like really excited to maybe do comedy there one day.
Indeed. I love Atlanta too. That city is beautiful. I don't care what Matt Rife says, but like I did the Wormhole in Savannah, Georgia when I went on tour. And then I did the Relapse Theater, part of Sweet Baby Cheeses at uh there. I did like 6 minutes there, and man, that those scenes are just amazing for comedy.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard some really good things about Atlanta. So hopefully, make a trip up there for like maybe do some open mics or do a show eventually. Just it's a great city. I love spending time there. So
100%. And so you found a love for the comedy scene in Orlando, and what do you love about the Orlando scene?
to be honest with you, I think it's the other comics for me. There's just so many different personalities, so many different senses of humor, and just kind of mixed here in Central Florida. And I mean, there's just some really great people just to make friends with, honestly. And I uh, I started off at SAC. I did Ali's class, and that kind of put me on stage for the first time. And after getting like a taste of it, I started going to open mics and started booking shows. And honestly, I love the atmosphere. I think it's really positive here in Orlando for the most part. So
Indeed. I love Ali. He's always a joy to see, and we were talking about him at the Nog yesterday because Michelle Keith was like in attendance for his Skyline show or whatever, and how that went. We'll talk about it off the air, but it's oh man, good
uh,
stuff.
yeah, I mean it kind of makes me feel maybe not feel better, but like I know he like as a seasoned comic has like rough nights too still, and it's just kind of like it can happen to anyone, you know.
Indeed, for sure. I love the guy, and he's a great teacher, and always great to pick his brain, and he's one of the good ones for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he gave me like when we were going through kind of like my premise and like my original joke structure and stuff for my first set, he gave me like really good feedback and kind of pushed me to my like out of my comfort zone, and which I don't regret at all. It's really helped me in the long term as far as my writing and as far as my punchlines and everything goes. So I'm very thankful to him.
100%. Yep. And you love making strangers laugh. And what was like your most memorable laugh that is like a stranger laughed at?
I mean, honestly, I don't really have one like particular that sticks out to me, but I can be a bit inappropriate at work sometimes, still with my jokes. I mean, there's a time and place for everything, but sometimes you can just feel like one of my customers just needs the laughter that day, and I mean that's just my favorite thing. It's just making almost anybody laugh. If it's the cashier at the grocery store or just my wife, you know, I think laughter is something that we all need a little bit more of, honestly, especially after COVID and the way our world is. We all just need to laugh and smile more.
Indeed. I used to get called into the HR department all the time because of my jokes. So I'm like, oh, I'm glad I don't work for corporate anymore. So, but it was always a fun time. So, you love movies. What are some of your favorite movies?
My favorite movie of all time is probably Valley Girl, 1982, with Nicolas Cage and Deborah Foreman. Uh, Second, I love Grease too. Blast from the Past. That's definitely like my rom com series. But then I'm really into like horror movies and stuff too, like original My Bloody Valentine, John Carpenter's Halloween, of course. Uh, Death Proof is one of my favorite films of all time. I completely love like Kurt Russell. He's incredible on any screen. So
I agree. Big Trouble in Little China is like my favorite, the one that he's in. So
it's a
it's
great movie. He
indeed
That role was made for him. So
it was, and yeah, I went and watched Big Trouble in Little China at the Egyptian Theater in Los Angeles, and like John Carpenter was in attendance and Rain was in attendance, and they signed my laser disc, and it was like the coolest thing ever. So
oh wow, yeah, I'm so jealous. Yeah, I would. You know, John Carpenter is just incredible. Like just the way that he's completely changed the horror series back in the '70s, and it wouldn't be what it is today without him. So
indeed, when you come to Daytona, you got to go to the Artisan's Crypt. It's a tattoo shop slash horror museum, and it's right by
ooh.
the Nog, and it's so cool.
Yeah, I'll have to go because you had me at tattoos, but yeah, definitely with the horror museum. So
Indeed, it's so rad. There's like there's actually on the fourth. There's like the lady. And speaking of John Carpenter, like one of the actresses from that movie is doing like a Q&A and stuff up there, and so
ooh,
I'll send you the link to the tickets so you can do
oh,
that and come to the Naga right after and do the mic and if you want to. But it's pretty awesome
oh,
and on top
perfect.
of the show and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a cool spot. And so you love working out. So which do you got any workout tips for a guy like
Um,
me?
oh well, to be honest with you, like I back in like 2016, I weighed probably close to like 380 pounds. So about that time, I kind of started controlling what I was eating and started just walking, honestly. And the last few months, I put a little bit of just comfort weight on because I got married last year, and I'm just I'm just happy. I'm just comfortable in my life for once, and but you just got to stay focused. Like just walking every day is just it really helps me, honestly. So you don't have to start lifting weights or running or anything. Just walking a few miles a day, honestly, can make such a difference for your health and just make you feel better.
Indeed. I'll definitely do some more walking for sure, like Christopher. Oh
Uh,
man.
oh man.
I'm a cheese ball and I was just improvising that on the spot and so you love improv too. So what do you love most about improv?
To be honest with you, I think what I like the most is like when we were younger, we would play pretend with our friends. And you wouldn't think nothing out of it because you're a kid, but like as an adult, it feels kind of strange to do that, but that's what improv feels like to me. It feels like I'm just playing like pretend with my friends, like we're playing house or we're playing like hospital. And you get to be who you want to be. Your character can go any place, and then you also just the reaction to the, like what the crowd might throw you, or what another person in the scene might throw you, is just a lot of fun.
Indeed, for sure. You love spending time with your wife and pets, and so what do you love doing the most with your wife and pets?
Uh, to be honest with you, I really love just going to the movies with my wife. That's something that we do a lot. We'll go to the theater, at least once a week. Movie theater popcorn is like the shit. And just any night when I don't have something else going on, I like to just be at home, just hanging out, just cuddled up on the couch. We can watch like Big Brother, or uh, my wife's got me into Sister Wives, so I like my trashy reality TV to calm me down after a stressful work week. So, but we've got
Indeed, I was just
three
listening to the
dogs.
radio and I heard, oh, three dogs. What kind of dogs?
Sorry, we got three dogs and two cats. We have two pugs, and then we have one of our dogs is like an Australian Shepherd Boston Terrier mix, but she's the most beautiful dog in all of the world. Our cats are menaces, though. They only crave food and cuddles. So,
Indeed, I'm a sucker for pugs. They're so cute when they breathe and everything. It's just so adorable. Indeed, awesome. And let's see here. When you talked about movies, going to the movies, and we talked about horror flicks earlier. The new Saw X is out now, and I saw that trap of the eyeballs. I'm like, oh, geez, that's pretty intense. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, we got two viewers in the audience too, so feel free to interact in the chat. Just be nice to us. I'm the soft one. She's the tough one, so she can handle it. So she'll smash those trolls. So
oh yeah.
awesome. So Christian, these are the usual questions that I ask all the comics. That's been on my show since like 5 years ago, but I still hang on to these questions that I ask everyone. So with that being said, what inspired you to perform stand-up comedy?
I had just moved to Orlando and had been here for about 6 months. And to be honest with you, I really honestly didn't know how to meet people outside of work and outside of my relationship. And my wife had signed me up for an improv class, the free improv workshop at SAC. And I went. I had a great time. It was really fun. I hadn't done improv since college, so it was interesting to kind of interact with new people. But they had the advertisement for stand up, and it's just something I've always enjoyed doing. It's just making people laugh. It wasn't necessarily something where I was like, I'm going to continue to do this. This is going to be, right for me. But I just felt like this little like urge to just try it out and see if it was, something that I would enjoy, which it did turn out to be one of the best things I've done. So,
Indeed. And what was it feeling like when you first performed stand up?
um, nerve wracking. I think that first show, I'd gotten really like kind of excited because there was, a lot of people in the crowd, and then uh, I think maybe it was just the adrenaline, but I did drop like three like extra fucks during my first set that were not a part of my set. I was a little shaky, but I loved it, and ever since then I just wanted more. So
Absolutely. It's quite addicting indeed. And what is your favorite comedy specials and comedy record albums?
I really like all of Taylor Tomlinson's specials, especially since I just feel like she's someone that, like, as far as comics go, like I feel like anyone can relate to her, like her relationships, mental health and stuff. I really like Daniel Tosh. I went and saw him several years ago in Atlanta, and he's awkward in person as he was on like his show that he had on Comedy Central, but like his sense of humor just always kind of like hit a spot for me. So
Indeed, for sure. Good folks. And as Daniel Tostigan has been on TV because you mentioned his show on Comedy Central. And what are some of your favorite sitcom sketch shows and comedy films?
uh comedy films. Uh, I mean, I like old school like National Lampoon and like Revenge of the Nerds. Honestly, is still probably one of my favorite like comedies, even though it's like deemed completely inappropriate now. Um, but I don't really watch too many sitcoms. I'm honestly like kind of serious like serious shows, and then reality TV has just really been kind of it for me. I've watched like New Girl, I think like a few seasons of that, and I don't really think that's considered a sitcom. Like I never was a fan of like Seinfeld or Friends or anything like that. It just never pulled me in when I was younger. So
Indeed, and sketch shows.
I don't think I've ever watched anything that would be considered a sketch show, to be honest.
Indeed, I don't blame it. So, the good ones were in the '90s for me. So, like in Living Color and like early Mad TV and SNL, like with Farley and stuff. Those are like my jams. But and if you can go on tour with any comedian, locally and internationally known, which comedians would you have to go on tour with?
Oh man, uh, maybe probably locally known. I would have to say Patrick Sisk. He's my boy. I like love him to death. Ever since I met him, he's just become like one of my favorite people to be around. Uh, Kristen K. She does like a acoustic mix. She's really funny. She's mostly in like a Pacific Northwest area, but she's touring here soon. So I'm hoping she'll maybe add a date and come down further this way. So
Excellent choices. Patrick is a sweetheart. I love him. Yeah, we were
he's
joking
something.
around. Yeah, we were joking around on Facebook, like, because yeah, like my agent didn't get me on Fest this year. I'm like, oh man, but his agent never reached out. But sometimes when like someone has an agent, that their price tag goes way up, and I'm like, because he got to pay the agent too, and I'm like, I know if I can afford you, I'll put you on, but I can't promise anything. I remember one time like an agency out in LA reached out to me, and they were like, they had all these big names. I'm like, I can't afford any of those people, even the low tier people. I'm like, I'm just gonna put all my buddies on my fast instead. So uh, and I see you all out there, on shows and stuff, and I'd much rather help my friends out than like a total celebrity that's a stranger or something, because it doesn't. It just I don't see myself doing that anymore. So I used to be a concert journalist and write about famous bands and stuff out in LA. I'm like, I'm over it. So
Uh,
it is what it
no,
is.
no, it's definitely going to be a good festival. There's so many talented, comics in Florida in general. So a lot of great people on the bill. So it's going to be a fun time. So we don't need any of those big celebrities.
No way, Jose. Yeah, I agree. And then, well, if you can get roasted by five comedians, top five dead or alive, which ones would you have to get roasted by?
Roasted, not physically roasted, just just verbally. Oh goodness. You know, to be honest with you, Patrick's on that list too because I wanted to do one of those roast battles with him at one point, and we had talked about it. And he ended up going up against another comedian, but I think he's one of the few that I would trust to not cross any like strange lines with me. I Kevin Hart. I would love for him to just tear me apart. Honestly, it would be I'd be fine with that. Uh, Tina Fey, um, got me racking my brain. Uh, uh, probably probably Matt Rife, just because I don't really consider him a comedian, so it wouldn't be that bad. And you know what? My comedy BFF, uh, Jason Montilla. He can roast me anytime, and that would be awesome.
Awesome, good stuff. And where do you see your comedy career, journey, on in 5 years?
If I'm still doing comedy in 5 years, I honestly it'll probably just be local showcases and stuff. I would love to work my way up to being a feature for someone that maybe travels a little bit. But right now, at the moment, my focus has just been me and my wife are trying to start a family. We're adopting, so I probably, whenever that does happen for us, I'm probably going to want to be close to home. So
Indeed. Congratulations, and I hope all the success in the world with adoption.
thank you, thank you. It's
Real,
very expensive.
I bet. Goodness
Yeah,
gracious. It's like Angelina Jolie should have adopted me. I would have been cheap because I'm
yeah.
Cambodian. So,
I mean,
uh,
if she could just give me the money to where I can adopt, that'd be fine.
in,
Just be like just a small check for her to write. So
for sure. Awesome. You're pretty popular. There's three people in the audience. So if you'd like, just
oh,
hop in the chat and talk to us and be nice to this softie, but you can be tough with Christian because she's tougher than I am. So just letting you know. And let's see here. Which other forms of comedy would you like to venture off into? Like you've done improv and stand up. There's like theater, comedy writing, sketch, etc.
I do want to do long form improv. That's something that me and my friends we've been kind of working towards is doing like longer extended scenes, like 10 to 15 minutes. I sketch comedy, honestly. When me and Jason, we did a few monthly shows back in winter and early spring, and that was something that we would do. We would have like an opening sketch, like leading into the show, instead of it just being the host coming up, doing their set, and then handing off the mic to the next comic. I felt like it really just kind of switched things up. The audience seemed to really enjoy it, and it was just a lot of fun, just kind of putting everything together with costumes and characters and just making it fun for everyone. So
Absolutely. That sounds like a lot of fun indeed. I love going to see improv shows because there's always something new, so never
yeah,
the same thing.
yeah, me too. I love P Sparkle. So
Awesome. Peace Sparkle sounds so familiar.
they do a monthly show at SAC on like late Thursday evenings. It's like the only R-rated show at
Oh,
SAC. It's really
mm,
good. You
that's
should go.
awesome. For sure. I always go to like sometimes catch the Random Acts of Insanity in Daytona Beach. And so Andrew goes up there and performs with Ali at Grandma's house or something out there or out
Oh,
in
Mama's
Orlando.
House.
Mama's
Oh
house.
yeah.
There it is.
Or Mama's comedy show. Yeah, I went to their show like 2 weeks ago. It was amazing. Andrew was on it. Jason and Taylor. I don't know if you met Taylor. She's great. So
Awesome. Good stuff. For sure. And let's see here. What's your favorite joke a comic has written?
oh my goodness. Uh uh Dylan Davis. I was in Carmen's writing class with him, and he would do this bit um, about tips like on like how to get traffic, like not have any traffic, and he just had a couple of like really good like punchlines and stuff that went with it. One of them was like um, start swerving, and then all the cars would move out of the way and stuff, and just the way he delivered it was just so spot on. Like,
Indeed. I love Dylan. We've performed on Pineapples together in Melbourne, and he's always a treat to go see. So he's a good fella.
yeah. Yeah, he's such a nice guy. I was sad to see the 808's gonna not be doing the open mic for the time being.
Yeah, and his like showcase room too, because they're focusing more on dining that wine place, and I'm like, bummer. And it looks
Yeah,
so amazing. It's like all the good rooms tend to like have an early,
early exit.
demise exit. It's like, ugh. But I'm sure he'll find something else because he's a hard worker. So
Yeah, definitely.
indeed. And let's see here. What experience would you like your audience to take with them after a set is over?
Um, just maybe kind of an understanding of like maybe a little bit about me, honestly, and just that no, not all comics are gonna get up there and talk about the same things. Like I remember when I first did comedy, like my first class, I think like four people in my class were like all their sets were about dating, and there's so much more. Like if you want to really relate to the audience, and I feel like they're the more comfortable people are with you, the more they'll laugh, the more they'll enjoy themselves. So I usually like to get up there and just let people know kind of like who I am, just a little snippet, and I want to keep building on that. Just keep adding more and just making more people laugh in the end. So
I agree. It's always fun to have people relate to you. That's why like I rarely like shy away from like topical humor, and I'm like I just like tell people like everything about me. It's just I want them to know who I am, so it's good stuff. Sometimes it scares people though, so it works out. I tell
there's
people
nothing
like
wrong with scaring
oh,
them.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's nothing wrong with
Indeed,
scaring
I
people a
can.
little bit.
Indeed, I tell people like, yeah, my stand up is like the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the original one. Like it starts off nice and easy, and then Leatherface appears, and then all hell breaks loose, and then you can't go anywhere. You're stuck with me because I got you hooked in. So it's great. Indeed, that's why I love the Nog. It's like we just say the most dirtiest things, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah, I've been known to like kind of push things a little far sometimes, but I've been trying to clean up a little bit, be more of a Christian. So
Yep, as says your name. So, indeed. And so, the stand up speakeasy is like a secret society of stand up comics. So we talked about it off the air. And which five comics would you like to see out in a future episode of the stand up speakeasy?
um I want to probably nominate, my comedy BFF Jason Montilla. He's got a lot of experience in acting, comedy, improv, sketches. He's become a regular on Mama's Comedy Show. He's got a great story. Just a great guy to be around. Um, you need to get Patrick on here, honestly. Uh, Johnny P. Um, I'm he's hosting the show that I'm in tomorrow night. It's just a hilarious fucking guy. Love him. Carmen Balone, my uncle of comedy, and I mean that means something else in Alabama, but that's fine. And let's see. Uh, maybe Rue. She's a hardworking comic here in Orlando. Her Silly Geese show is one of the best showcases every month, in my opinion. So
Indeed. And I interviewed Rue earlier for our Orlando Fringe show, and so uh, and she's actually on the fast this year, so it's gonna be
yeah,
a
I
lot of
saw that.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
she's fun.
for sure. And what upcoming shows you got besides tomorrow and the fest coming up?
I'm gonna be in the next month. I'm gonna be in the new Oops No Dude show. Leslie Joe's putting on that. I'm still waiting on the details on that one. But and then my friend Ryan is uh, Ryan Pratt started a new showcase that's going to be in Oviedo, and I'm going to be on the first show for that next month. So uh, should be a really good show. Shireen is headlining it, and she's just incredible as far as like her comedy, just as a person. Just so I'm really looking forward to both of those at the moment.
Indeed, good folks. And Shireen was on my friend's show for storytelling too, so she did so well with her one person show, selling almost all of them out. I was like, good lord, that's amazing.
Yeah, we went and saw it. It was a great time. I just love seeing the whole story played out and everything. Just the atmosphere, the way she had the stage set up. It was probably my second favorite thing in Fringe this year. So
Indeed, with all her Jordans on stage and the hot wings and all that good
yeah,
stuff. So
yeah,
for
changing her
sure,
shoes every time she was telling the next part of the story. I was like, this is perfect. This so
good stuff. And hopefully Jordan sponsors that her one person show because they need to.
yeah, no, they
Indeed,
definitely do. So
absolutely, awesome. So Christian, thanks so much for being my guest on the show, and I can't wait to see you at the festival so you can roast my movie. And I'm so glad that you have a love for like Mystery Science Theater. And I called it Funny Farm Film Fest, Firestorm, because it's just like flies in the soup, the Vietnamese soup. So it's a
yeah,
start, but
it's gonna
awesome.
be great.
I
So
agree. So come see us at the Nog. A shout out to K Nails and Spa and Quan's Kitchen for sponsoring, and for Liquid Death for giving us koozies to hand out to people, and the signs for the stage. So and letting us put their logo and stuff on the shirts and stuff like that, and their motto. So yeah, we'll see each other next month, and until then, catch Christian out all the shows and follow her on Instagram, on the Blow, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next episode of this Stand Up Speakeasy. Awesome. Thank you again, Christian. You rock. And any final
Uh,
words out there you like to give out?
no, I'm just I'm looking forward to being at the festival, getting to roast your movie, and just getting to hang out. It's gonna be a great time. So
Indeed. Excellent. So thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. And we got another episode shortly with the storyteller Sarah out of Jacksonville. So we'll see you later.